Hey, what is up? What's going on, everybody? Joe here, Radio 690 ADV. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday morning here, so it's God, morning time just gets here too quick. Anyway, Radio 690 ADV. Make sure you guys subscribe. Check us out on Google Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on all of them. Also, don't forget about our YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's also syndicated over into the podcast platform as well. And our podcast platform syndicates it back over to here to our YouTube channel every Tuesday, or I'm sorry, every Sunday and every Thursday. We also have videos that are tips on Tuesdays, and we also have our rant and ride, which we do. It's a variety of everything from new rider help to we do reviews on motorcycles. We talk about motorcycles. We bring stuff to you that we find out, and we try to dump it out to you to get you information and all that type of stuff. So if you're a new rider or intermediate rider, any kind of rider, make sure that you subscribe and be part of our channel and help us out. And and give input, because there's a lot of riders out there that definitely need your help and my help, and everybody helps everybody, and everybody has a fantastic and awesome time riding motorcycles. Because at the end of the day, that's really kind of what it's all about. It's about getting out and riding, finding your adventure. And your adventure is not the same as mine, and mine is not the same as yours. But an adventure is an adventure. It's whatever brings happiness and sparks interest and things like that in your life, because before you know it, you will be gone. There's not an infinite time on this planet. So have fun, enjoy it, and do the best you can, and be the best person that you can. So if you're listening to this and you're tuning in, thanks so much. Don't forget, hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we sure would appreciate it. On to the podcast. So you've been talking about it. You've been thinking about it. You've been saving for it. And now you've got a motorcycle. Or you have had a motorcycle for a little while, and you've just been kind of tooting around and tinkering around with your motorcycle. And our channel is mainly dual sport or adventure motorcycles, but it really goes along the lines of any motorcycle. It doesn't matter. A motorcycle is a motorcycle. As long as you ride, you can do all sorts of awesome things. You can just do more of them on a dual sport. That's why I own one, because I get the best of both worlds. I get to enjoy the street, and I get to get out onto the dirt and go see, those really neat, really cool, epic places that you just can't do on a street bike. You either need a full drive truck or something like that. That's really what makes the dual sport motorcycles, in my opinion, more superior than the other motorcycles. But at the end of the day, a bike's a bike, and it's fantastic and awesome that, you're out riding around and having a good time, because you can't really truly explain what it's like to ride a motorcycle until you've ridden one. I mean, that's in all reality. I mean, how can you truly explain what you're feeling and portray that to another person to where they're truly, really going to get it the way that you get it? It's pretty, it's next to impossible. You can say it's great, it's fantastic, it's awesome. So anyway, back onto the podcast, onto the topic. I just got my motorcycle, whether it's a dual sport or motorcycle. What do I do now? Well, the first things first that I like to tell everybody is, you've probably done your research. And if you haven't, always research is amazing, and it's awesome. Do as much research as you possibly can on motorcycles, and especially the one that you're thinking about getting or the one that you got, and know as much as you can about that bike. I always like to say, how much power does it have? How much does it weigh? And what aftermarket parts can I get for that motorcycle? That's really a nice starting point, because really what it boiled down to is the motorcycle. And when you got that motorcycle, what can you do to it, or what does it do, and what can I do on it? That's the reality of it, because some motorcycles can actually do more than other motorcycles. So if you're a new rider or an intermediate rider for a little while, and you're a street rider, and maybe you're coming over to the dual sport side of the world, there are, there's just certain things that some can do better than others. So, but they're all fantastic in their own right. So that's what I would do. I would find out where's the aftermarket stuff. What is it way that I want to buy? Because I need to make sure that I can handle that bike for what it is. Here's the deal. If I ever take that motorcycle out and something happens and I lay it down, let's just say it's something is petty and I've and I've done it. I have done it. Make no mistake. I've done it more than once, believe it or not. I've thought I've got my kickstand down, because I'm pushing my boot out and I'm trying to get the kickstand down and I've missed my kickstand. I'll tell you exactly how many times I've done it. I've done it twice. So, and literally I went to step off my bike. There was no kickstand and the bike fell down. Okay. It just fell down. It wasn't anything major, catastrophic or anything like that, but you got to pick your bike up. As embarrassed as you are, you still have to pick your bike up. And if you've ever done that and you're chuckling going, oh my God, I've done that too. Probably everybody's done it at least once, but you got to make sure that, you can get your own motorcycle up. So that really helps. So knowing the weight of your motorcycle is a big deal. And also knowing how to pick up your motorcycle is really kind of a big deal too. There's a right and a wrong way to pick up your motorcycle, especially the bigger bikes. You can throw your back out and all sorts of stuff. So, but we're going to have some videos on that type stuff on some tips on how to lift your bikes and new rider stuff to show you how to ride better and things like that, and to do things and just little things that will make your life a little bit easier and shortcut you a little bit to where you can start practicing that type of stuff and get better on your motorcycle. You're never too old to learn, and you can never learn enough. That's my motto. So with that being said, knowing as much about your motorcycle as possible is great. What kind of oil does it take? Things like that. So, what are my maintenance intervals? When do I need to change my oil? Do I need to change my oil filter every single time, or can I do every other time? Certain motorcycles you can do every other time. Believe it or not, even on my KTM, I do it almost every other time. My oil filter is not too bad, but I'm also very meticulous on how I do my oil changes. So your bike is only as good as the guy taking care of it. Remember that. So now that you know certain things about your motorcycle, the next thing is you. The question is what? You just got your bike. You're kind of riding the neighborhoods or whatever it is that you're doing. What's the next step? Well, the thing is if it's a dual sport bike and you're thinking about doing any type of traveling, and you really need this regardless. I don't know what your budget is. Don't know how much money you have to spend. And it's not about how amazing and awesome. Everybody loves to go out and try to buy the most expensive gear. More expensive doesn't make it better. Understand that and know that. If you look down in my description, there's a lot of stuff that's in there. It's good quality stuff and it's inexpensive. I've done all the work. I do a lot of work. It's down there. So if you're looking for anything, down in the description, you can see a lot of the stuff that I ride with, the things that I have bought and the things that I've already purchased. And they're inexpensive. And a lot of that stuff will work along the lines with most all dual sport bikes that you have. From a helmet is your very first thing that you really, really, honestly, truly need. I live in Texas. We don't have a helmet law. Man, you should always wear a helmet. I just don't care. If you're on the road, wear a helmet. You hear it all the time. He would have survived if he this and that, because he hit his head. I mean, remember your head is, you only get one of them. You can ride without a finger. You can, you can ride with, stitches, all that stuff, but you can't ride if you smash your head. So a helmet is really the first place to start. A helmet is number one. You don't need to go buy the most expensive, craziest helmet. If you looked at my helmet, if you watch my rant and rides and you watch my videos and stuff like that, I have every single helmet. I have over $3,000 in helmets. I used to be a helmet nut. I've backed myself off. The helmet that I have now is my Scorpion and the 950. God, you know what? I've got almost an $800 Araya helmet. It's a KTM brand. It's fantastic. It's awesome. It's muy bueno. It's awesome. So, but my Scorpion does everything it does. It's just as comfortable. It's not any heavier. It's not. If you put them in the hands, they're not any heavier. It's just a fantastic. It's a modular. I can flip it up. I can drink water, take a sip of coffee, whatever I need to do with it. It's got flip down goggles in it, but I'm not putting down that Araya helmet. It's awesome. It's fantastic. It does everything it's supposed to do. It's super, super, it's light. It fits the bill. So does that Scorpion. But if you're looking for like a really cool looking helmet, that Scorpion comes in a bunch of different colors. It's only 200 and something bucks, and it's fantastic. It's proven. And you want to make sure that any helmet that you buy is definitely DOT certified, and don't buy a used helmet if you can help it, and try not to do a hand-me-down helmet. Helmets are really only good for about 3 years. Inside of the helmet, they have a foam that's inside of there. And over time, it deteriorates and breaks. I forget what kind of foam it is, but what happens is anytime you're in an accident, that's why you always hear a lot of old school motorcycle riders, guys have been riding a long time, they don't want you touching their helmet. There's a reason for that, because they don't want you to drop it. Because if you drop it, what happens is the foam inside of there is really made for an impact, and it shatters and expands. That takes all the impact, so that's what protects your head. And it's kind of a really, really big deal, and it's not replaceable. So keep that in mind. So if you drop your helmet, just dropping it from like a tabletop or something like that, it's not quite like that. It's mainly a heavy impact, like if you were to like smash your head on the ground at like, say, 10 miles an hour or more, or something like that, or get thrown off your bike and hit your head on a log or something. So, but keep that in mind. You want to make sure that it's DOT certified. Try to buy a new one if you can. I mean, if you're just practicing in the backyard or something like that, borrow up buddies, no big deal. And make sure that you get a helmet that fits. That's really, really big. A lot of people will get helmets. It's either too tight or it's too loose. A helmet, a good rule of thumb is basically you should be able to slide your index finger inside of your ear or your cheek, and it shouldn't feel like you're having to muscle it up in there. Also, when you move your head side to side, it shouldn't sit there. It shouldn't go back and forth super, super easy. It should be snug, but not too snug. The other thing is they come in different head size. They come in round and they come in oval. That's for you to find out. If you have a motorcycle shop or cycle gear or something like that, go try one on, find out what it is, and get the right size. Make sure that you size yourself up. Number 2, gloves. Gloves are a real big deal. Something happens and you come off the bike or anything like that, if you have to put your hands down, I'm telling you, man, I've done it both ways, and I really try to remember to wear my gloves, especially if I'm on the road and I'm off road. I forget sometimes, but I've gone down and I'm not wearing my gloves, and man, you get all jacked up right there, and it's awful. It hurts. And you're the first thing you're saying, I should have worn my gloves. Make sure that it's got some armor, make sure that it's got some good padding in there. And if you're adventure traveling, take 2 pairs of gloves. Have a pair of winter gloves. That way your fingers don't freeze off. If something happens, you get a freak deal that passes through in your digits, because if you can't feel your fingers, you can't ride a motorcycle. It's very, very difficult, especially if you don't have heated grips. Next thing, a jacket, man. Get a jacket. If it's, I know people see me and like, oh, you're not wearing it's hot here in Texas. And I do take the responsibility, but I do try to portray and be better about it as much as I can, depending on where I'm riding at. If I'm highway riding, I always wear a jacket. If I'm just shooting a video and you see me going around like on a neighborhood ride or something like that, speed limits are like 30 miles an hour. I'm not racing. I'm not doing things. I'm just doing it because I'm hot. But if I'm going on a 40, 60 mile ride, you betcha I'm wearing a jacket. And jackets are nice. Get one that works for you, either matches your bike or whatever. And but make sure it's got a little bit of armor in there or something like that. Don't just go throw on like your blue jean jacket or something like that and go hit the highway. I mean, you can, but it's just not a good idea. Pants are great. Motorcycle pants are always going to be better than regular old pants, but I say long pants. I try not to ride with shorts on. It's just not a good idea, especially on the road. But pants are one of those things that you just, you want to make sure that you get some type of motorcycle pants, especially if you're traveling. They have some armor in them. They're made to breathe. Some of them are actually waterproof. And all around, just the pant is just, it's nice. They're built much, much better than regular pair of pants, and they're made to take an abuse. And a good pair of pants don't cost a lot, and they'll last you years. I mean, years. I've got 3 or 4 pair of riding pants, and I mean, I've got some that are almost 10 years old, and they will go another probably 20. So just let you know, and they didn't cost but about $150. So for the pair of pants. So, and then the number one thing, if you're getting out and you're riding and you're dual sporting and adventure riding and you're doing any type of dirt, it really is something that you need for the road. Boots. Boots. Sorry, got to have coffee in the morning. Boots are fantastic. It doesn't matter really what kind of boot you want to get. What I've learned over all the years is that boots are one of those things. Everybody's trying to find the perfect boot, and everybody's going to tell you that their boot's the best. Man, I've had them from a really nice street boot to really, really super nice adventure boots to motocross boots. And depending on what type of riding you're doing, you'll get a lot of guys that are, their first thing is I got to get a good waterproof boot. Well, here's the deal. I don't care what anyone says. I don't believe them. There is no such thing as a waterproof boot. Water always finds its way in. There's no such thing as waterproof gear. Water always finds its way in. If you travel, you are in rain, and it's longer than a 30-minute ride in the rain and it's coming down, you will be drier, but you will not be completely dry. It just, I just don't believe in it. So what I have learned is that, and I'll work on putting some stuff down in there, and I want to do a boot section because that's one of the things when you get, I like to call it sog toe or, jungle foot or whatever you want to call it, where your foot gets wet and your feet start wrinkling, and it sucks. So some things what you need to think about for your boot. So I run basically adventure boots, and I run now motocross boots. And the reason I run the motocross boots is it's better on my body when I'm riding. And water's going to get in there anyway. And I'm going to do a tip video to show you how to alleviate the wet foot. And it's fantastic. It's inexpensive. It doesn't cost a whole lot. I'm not doing it on this podcast. But the reason I wear the motocross boot is it helps with fatigue. It allows me to stand up on my bike better. It just all around, it just feels better. The adventure boots look neater. They look cooler. But at the end of the day, the motocross type boot, it just works better. And I don't have to work as hard. How's that? I just don't have to work as hard. It makes my life easier on the road. Down in the description, if you're looking for the pair of boots that I have, they're fantastic, inexpensive, and you can pick them up and they'll ship them to you, and it doesn't cost you much anything. So really the moral to this story is gear, because you got your bike, and make sure you start programming yourself to wear the gear as much as you possibly can. You're going to get comments all the time saying, well, you needed this and you needed that and you needed this and you needed that. At the end of the day, you're responsible for yourself. If you have a wife and kids and a family, you mainly want to do it for them. That's my personal opinion, because if you do it for them, then what happens is you're doing your absolute best to protect yourself and make sure that every ride that you do, you come home safe and everything's fantastic. So, but yeah, you just got a bike. Fantastic. I hope if you're watching this and you did get a bike and you get something from this, hopefully it helps you out a lot. But the main thing is just do your research and find out what you really, truly want to do on that motorcycle. And when you figure that out, research. And if you ever need anything, remember 690adv@gmail.com, and I'll do whatever I can. I get emails all the time from people asking questions, and I do the best I can to help them out. And if I don't have the answer and I gave you an answer, heck, I might have got it from a buddy of mine, because I know lots of writers that have lots of knowledge, and we have tons of subscribers that come on and they post amazing stuff down there in the comments and help everybody out. So, and the other thing is, no matter what happens, no matter how you feel when you're riding, don't listen to anybody that sits there and tries to tell you that they're just the greatest rider in the world and you need to this, and this. Make sure that you know that person and you know what their capabilities are, because anybody that is a really good rider is not going to sit there and give you some really, really dumb information. If it sounds dumb, it is dumb. just, make sure you pay attention to that. Anyway, I'm Joe, Radio 690 ADV, 690ADV.com. Make sure you go sign up on our website. That way you can get a sticker. But not only that, you're also registered for any of our giveaways that we have. So, like I said, if you got a new bike, fantastic, awesome. If you've been riding for a while, just my thing is everybody helps everybody. That's what this channel's all about. And before long, we're going to have a huge community, and it's going to be fantastic. And it all happens because of you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You guys have a great Thursday. Don't forget, tomorrow, Rant and Ride, 9 p.m. We never miss. Thanks a lot. 690 out.